9:04 p.m. Wednesday, September 18th, 2019, episode number 744 of Yeah Dude. My name is Jonathan, and this is Seth.
Look at this beauty boy.
Hello, Seth. I know he's blocking your screen there.
He calls the shots in this apartment. 9:04 p.m. Never been a better time to kick off this episode of comedy. Yeah Dude, America through the eyes of two American Americans. America's original comedy podcast. Maybe I gotta come up with some. I can't keep changing it.
These fucking pictures suck.
America's original comedy podcast. America's longest lasting. Damn it. We were talking about the Joker. How many Jay Phoenix Jokers are we gonna see on Santa Monica Boulevard on Halloween? What's the over-under on that? 400?
I mean, how many people show up to that thing? 60,000?
Million?
No, they'll be over 1,000.
65,000 Jokers of varying degrees. Are there any probably, have you been to Hollywood Boulevard? Are there any up there right now yet? The movie comes out October 4th. There's got to be a Jay Phoenix Joker. Are you a Jay Phoenix Joker?
Well, because he's wearing the purple suit, right? So he's going to be like, and it's going to look like
Joker fight an H. Ledger Joker, and who comes out on top? You put H. Ledger and Jay Phoenix in a jail cell. Who comes out?
Heath.
H. Ledger. All right.
What other doozy costumes are we going to get this year?
I have yours done. Ready to go, locked and loaded.
What is it? Just me in a dress?
Oh, no.
Oh, I thought we were saying like
just came back.
Jonathan.
No, Tom Ford. I got you a charcoal suit, a beautiful charcoal suit. We're gonna put your hair. We'll have it. Adir's gonna do your hair. We're gonna take the beard down the littlest bit. I don't wanna. You're John Wick.
So good.
So good.
I'll dye my hair black.
Have to.
Maybe just. I'll even trim it maybe for this.
Have to for this.
For this. I'm Parabellum.
You're John Wick Parabellum. Yeah. So we're talking. We might. It's October 4th.
We gotta
stay out of the theaters Friday night.
That's what you think,
weekend,
huh?
Yeah. I would say. Too much. Too much too soon.
Too much too soon.
It's a 9 a.m. or wait 2 weeks. That's my window. You got to see that before noon on Friday, October 4th. If you don't get in the theater before noon, I want you no weekend showings. You got to wait till fucking Monday. That's what I'm saying.
For
too much.
For safety.
For safety.
Okay. That's fair, I guess.
Once we put you
I hope nothing happens, obviously.
Once we put you in this outfit. Speaking of fucking movies, do you remember when Adam Sandler did that fucking really bad movie for Netflix, the Noah Baumbach movie? The Meyerowitz Stories, New and Selected. You don't remember because you didn't see it because you didn't have to. But you do remember when he was in a real movie, and so we had to hear about the Academy Award he was going to win. And then I tried to explain to everybody, he's still wearing fucking shorts in the movie, so it doesn't count because you have to put fucking actual pants on this human being at some point. Mm-hmm. And if it's in a fucking real movie, just put pants on him. Well, now we have another fucking movie. It's called Uncut Gems. He's like a diamond dealer, and I think he's not wearing shorts, which is gonna... The covering of the legs is the automatic Academy Award nomination because this fucking dumb world we live in. This is a movie directed by the Safdie brothers that made a movie called Good Time, which is total garbage, that came out 2 years ago, which is one of those movies that people think is good, but it's really bad.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, but again, thank you. You have taste, so you don't have to. If you had to see it, I would tell you should see this fucking movie. But in this movie, I got real nervous because he doesn't wear shorts, I don't think. And I think that is he was bad in the last bad movie. He's going to be bad in this bad movie. But the covering of the legs is going to get him the nomination.
Wasn't he good in Punch Drunk Love?
He was not good in that movie. A lot of people think he was, but he wasn't. It's one of those kind of misconceptions that people...
What about Spanglish?
Let me tell you more. Click Is Click a film?
Yeah.
That's your movie.
That's mine.
If you
That's my
put
one.
you get an idea, and if it's a kernel of an idea, life's too much. So you just, there's a shorthand to everything. So you just say, I think it got established at some point. Somebody said he was good. And so you just say, oh, but he was good in Punch Drunk Love. But I can assure you he wasn't.
Got it.
Because that's not possible. He covered his legs and now he's going to get a mother. I'm going to have to watch him at the Academy Awards.
At the BAFTAs.
At the BAFTAs. Win a BAFTA for dramatic acting. Because that's just what the world is.
What's it called? Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. Their movie, Good Time it's called.
Who's in that?
Robert Pattinson. It's fucking garbage.
Is that the one that takes place in like the future?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I don't know what that is.
No. So that's, they put pants on him. I could have told him that. He tried to do a movie that was serious a couple years ago, but they put him in shorts. He could have got the nomination then. I guarantee you if you put him in slacks, he's in. Because all he has to do is not do his like, blah, 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 whatever his, his things are. Take a guitar out of his hand. Don't let him do his little baby talk.
Stick pants on.
Hey, man, hey, adult man, can you talk like an adult person for 90 minutes and wear pants? I think so. Here's an Academy Award nomination BAFTA winner. Here's your SAG award. What do I have to do? Wear pants and talk like an adult for an hour. I think I can do that. We'll see.
New research.
Good Time is a garbage movie.
I need to look into this. Not maybe watch it, but I need to know more about what this film was.
Okay.
Does he play a Southern guy?
He plays New Yorker. A jittery New Yorker.
You've seen this film in its entirety?
I've seen this film in its entirety. I put him in the mold of a fucking... He's almost like a midnight cowboy. He's almost a Hoffman. This is a New York character. This is Edward the vampire playing this person.
Yeah.
You just take people that do something. You have them do something else. You have one person say that they did it right, and then it just in time, he did it right.
He does it right.
He does it right.
Every time.
Every time. Good time? No. Every time.
New research in the journal Science contradicts. This is shaking news here. We should have probably just opened the show with this. Just let it all be known now.
Okay.
In the journal Science contradicts the science community's generally accepted age of the universe of 13.7 billion years.
Wait a minute.
Believes the universe is actually just 11.4 billion years.
You didn't fucking lead with that? So I'm over here talking about fucking movies, and you're over here dropping fucking asteroids on me over here. What was that? What did we think the universe was?
13.7 billion.
That's what I've been operating with for my entire life.
That's what I've been using as my
basis
my
for
betting
everything.
my betting scheme.
All my betting schemes and horoscopes are based on that.
11.4 billion.
Okay, so that changes
Is what
everything.
Is what the journal
So
Science.
basically, every natal chart I've done by the experts.
You got to call them
about you're like a million years off. And
billion.
So my lucky day is
billion years.
billion. My bad. My lucky day is Tuesday, not Monday. Thanks for fucking that up.
Makes sense though.
Makes perfect sense. My lucky number is 8, not 7. Billion years off. That's gonna it's gonna cause a lot of consternation. There's gonna be a lot of pointing and yelling between the factions, the sharks and the jets.
Yeah, of science.
Science. Get the blades out.
I don't know how they
do.
I don't know how they figure it out.
They don't. Trust me. Hey, listen. I don't want to come across. Listen, no one loves science more than me.
Really? I think some people might.
Okay.
Scientists, for one.
Maybe. No one respects scientists more than me.
Fine.
Those calculations, there was no way to do that. They made up the first number and they made up the second, and that's cool. That's fine. I mean, the idea of pretending that you came to those through something, I don't think that's cool. Coming up with the numbers is fine. You have to have some basis, I guess. right?
Someplace to start
Some
from.
place to start arguing. A billion here, a billion there. What is life?
Yeah, but there's no way they know how to do that.
Oh, dog. I mean, I get like you can tell how old a tree is, right? They cut them down and they count the rings.
But
I
even
don't
that
buy
changes.
that either. I don't
Even
buy
that
that
changes.
either. Trust me. But it's fine. 400, 500, whatevs. No way, Jose,
Yeah.
that they're like, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop, boop. Oh, no, but I boop, 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 beep, boop, boop, boop. Oh, you boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. That's $1 billion off. Next. Nope. I was reading my SAG-AFTRA magazine that's sent to my home because I'm a member of the union SAG-AFTRA. Thank you.
What does AFTRA stand for?
I'll say American Federation of Television and Radio. Right?
Actors?
And actors.
No, but it...
Always. Always.
Okay, God.
Always. I don't even know if that's... but I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about this fucking master acting class with Chris Game taking place down in Diego. Shoot down to San Diego, where the greatest actors and acting classes and coaches are. Oh, New York and LA? Diego. So the master acting class, it's hosted by master actor Chris Game.
I don't know this name.
Well, you should know him because he played the maitre d' on a 2016 episode of Veep. You must remember him now. Oh, yes. Let me think back. 2016 episode of Veep. Haven't seen an episode. Everybody tells me I should. I believe it was episode 5. There was a maitre d'. Chris Game, master maitre d'. Literally his only credit. Master actor. He gives you a lesson on the most important tool a performer utilizes when auditioning. Networking. Okay, you're a master actor and a master acting teacher. Call me old-fashioned. I think the most important tool for an actor is his acting or her craft, not networking. Really shitty actor, but
knows
see her
everybody.
work a room, drops a headshot on everybody. But that other woman was she brought me to tears. The other one, yeah, but sure, headshots are kind of shitty, and she
doesn't
couldn't
know
remember
anyone.
anybody's name.
She doesn't know anybody.
She doesn't know anybody. She's kind of a loser. Let's hire this one. So that could be a problem.
Chris Game.
Could be a problem. Participants in this master acting class will begin by introducing themselves. Hello, I'm Seth Romatelli.
Second year.
Second-year actor, Hollywood. My God. When they're done, Chris Game, he goes around the room and he repeats each individual's name and perfectly because he's a
master networker.
He's a master mimicker and con man. I mean, actor and teacher.
Networker.
So this motherfucker can remember 8 people's names in a room. Cool. Congratulations.
You know, I do it. I make up a song. It's like a little story.
So it's Apollo, Andy, Paul, Orlando, Lewis, Larry, and Orlando. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! I already had Orlando. Oh, it was Osiris. What? Yes, Osiris. Did you see my 2016 turn into maitre d' in Veep? Fuck off!
How much?
$1,000.
No,
I think it's
it's
I think
free?
they do. Yeah, it's like
That's nice of them.
Part of
It's part of benefit. Members' benefits.
Member of SAG-AFTRA.
So it's just gas that you
See,
gotta...
I don't know what AFTRA stands for because for Jonathan, I've been a member of a union called the Screen Actors Guild. I didn't vote for this fucking collab. I didn't want to bring these fucking... I'm a film actor.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
I know.
Free Britney. I'm a film fucking actor. So when you wanted to talk about radio and TV, I was like, me and fucking Brad Pitt were like, what? We're teaming up with you? Okay, I guess. SAG. They say it's SAG after that. That's what it says on my membership card. It expires on Halloween. So as long as my dues were paid through Halloween.
And once those dues are up, what will you...
I will pay my dues again. I will be a member until
How
April.
much?
Depends on what I made in the last year as an actor.
Is that what they?
Certainly, it's based on what I accrued, my income as a Hollywood actor.
Okay, so how much will it be for?
Well, I believe in the calendar year 2019, I've received small checks.
So it'll be based off of those.
Totally based off of my residuals for some of my work.
So they'll owe you money.
They will owe me money.
Your dues are that they owe you $11.
Oh, man. But my union
But you don't get
protects me.
benefits.
No, you got to make a certain amount. You mean like health care?
Yeah.
No.
But you've had that at some point?
I've been in the mix.
Yeah, I was in the mix just vicariously.
Hey, we all get in
It was
the
the
mix.
best.
We all get in the mix.
That didn't last.
Over at Bob Hope with my fucking pants off. Take a look at it.
Yeah. The best.
Good times.
Run some tests just
Run
for fun.
some tests? Why not? I booked a commercial. Run a test.
Yeah.
Every commercial I'd say, run a test. Am I pregnant? I don't give a fuck. Run it. Good times.
Some good health care.
Good healthcare. Good run.
High quality.
I'll be back there. I guarantee it.
Absolutely.
I guarantee on this fucking episode of this show that I'll be back in Bob Hope throwing a card in somebody's fucking face in the future. Guarantee it.
From your mouth to God's ear.
I'm in the book. Hit me up if you're looking for somebody.
USA Today snapshots.
Hey, and I mean if you're looking for somebody who tells it real.
No after bullshit.
No bullshit. No after bullshit.
Section only.
Yeah, and section only. You know I'm going to fucking take those sides and I'm going to fucking take a fucking Sharpie to them because I say my own shit. I'll riff off what you gave me, but you're not Harold Pinter, so I don't fucking think I'm going to have to sit there. Well, this is the inflection that Sam Shepard gave me. I got to say each ooh and ah. Fuck that shit. Your credits suck. Your script sucks. I'm going to riff and make it better. Deal with it. Every motherfucker that's ever written everything, literally, they think they're fucking Shakespeare. Chill, yo. This is an episode of Riverdale. Like season 7. I'll change a word if I got to. But this is Riverdale. And say it as it's written. Couldn't be further out of the loop. Isn't it quite amazing?
It's
To not stumble ass backwards into something. Isn't it quite amazing?
it's something.
It's quite something.
It's quite something. It almost seems like you had another calling, really. Is what
It almost seems as if my whole life has been destined to do one thing. Oh yeah, dude.
USA Today snapshots. There are the top 5 types of red grapes grown in California in the year 2017.
Okay, the vineyards of
Now these are
terroir.
This number is in acres of land that are dedicated to growing
Solely.
each type solely. The Syrah grape, Syrah.
Is that how you say
Syrah?
that?
Syrah?
I think isn't it Syrah?
Syrah. Oh, that's Syrah.
Syrah, I believe.
Syrah grape, 16,448 acres. Merlot grapes.
I think that's Merlot, actually. Let me just... you do your thing, I'll do mine.
Merlot is 39,786 acres in California.
That's a
grow
lot.
Merlot
That's a
grapes. A Zinfandel grape occupies 43,210 acres of California wine country. A Pinot Noir grape, 45,304 acres.
Soaking up that sun.
And a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, dog. Imagining you just filling up, oh my God, tall glass of Cabernet, you know, after the show. Just chopping it up post-show with some Cabernet.
Would be nice.
That'd be real nice. Split an oxy. You crash here.
I'm
see you in
gonna
the
crash
morning.
here, dude.
Get some avo toast. Fuck.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Mm.
91,834 acres.
Dog, a rich cab after the show.
Nice, sweet cab
Fill me
grapes.
up. Don't even let it breathe. Go all the way to the brim. That's a Pratt Daddy pour. Pratt Daddy goes all the way up.
Topped.
They're like, hey, dog, let it breathe. Pratt Daddy's like, fuck it. Whole bottle.
You let
Boom.
it breathe.
You let it breathe. I like a strong pour. Oh God, a cab after the show.
Nice deep pour on that
Oh
cab.
my God, a fucking fresh Syrah.
Syrup. Now,
Wine's right. I never fucking got to get in the mix on
I was
wine.
gonna-
would've
I
loved
was
to have
gonna ask-
Drank and learned about wine.
I
Would've
did
been
a bit.
No fucking thing about it.
I did a bit.
What happens if you drink the bottle? Let's find out. $2 Chuck. What's it cost? Found that out. Rolled right into Trader Joe's. It's $2 for the bottle, and if you drink one, you get fucking loose. Yes, please.
I did a bit, but not much. Not much. I had a few friends that I knew that were really into it, so I would just take their suggestions. I didn't learn anything myself. I just partook in some very expensive and good wine drinking shortly before I got sober. Actually, I was doing the majority of it.
Never missed that. I missed out on that fucking Sparks and on that. What a botched of a fucking run.
It's probably something we could reintroduce into our lives at some point later on down the road, I would say.
God.
In our twilights. I think after 60, you and I could
can start
probably
drinking
start
again.
drinking wine.
At 60, I can start drinking beer again, you said.
I said wine.
You said beer. I heard you say specifically Budweiser beer.
I don't think that's a good idea.
For the second year in a row, the Ku Klux Klan held a gathering in Madison, Indiana, in a local park. I guess the Klan, they can still throw a few people together and walk into a park. They, again, second year in a row, were met with a much larger group saying, your agenda's a bit off. Could you stop? Thank goodness. Hopefully, I guess we'll have to do it again next year and show up. But they called the event, the name that the Ku Klux Klan gave the event, was a cookout.
Oh, I was going to say Cluchella.
Cluchella, crazy event. Insane. Cluapalooza is a crazy event. But a cookout, if you didn't know,
You could stumble in.
You could like what? Oh fuck!
My bad. I thought this was
cookout. I thought it was some sort of like 50th 1969 anniversary. Like
whoa,
cookout.
Like showed up with a wig.
Showed up full tie dye. Yeah, like smoking. What the fuck is this? Can't allow them to have. They don't get good shit. And cookout. That sounds like a fucking party.
They duped us. They got us. They got us on that one.
And is that their game? They're
Just to take our cool names.
Well, no one wants to be there and see them.
Oh, they're just it's a trick.
It's a trick.
Trick name. Yeah, like a cover band that's called Free Beer.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe.
Wow, I guess the young people they are on the internet, like being susceptible to like, oh no, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Cookout?
Got you.
I mean, you're running like grass in hand.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Oh my God, a cookout. I think my dad went to a cookout in Griffith Park in the 60s. No, he didn't. Not cool.
Yeah.
Not cool. I mean, they do a lot of things that are not cool, and I put that right
in there.
Right in there.
Not top of the list, but
way at the bottom, but just
but
another
still not
thing
cool.
Not cool. Fucking shit. I was reading Marilyn Vos Savant in Parade magazine. They were asking Marilyn, Matthew Baldwin. He's the fifth. You know, when you never talk about Matthew.
Yeah.
Stephen, Billy, Daniel.
No one acknowledges.
No one acknowledges Matthew because he didn't want to be an actor. And so he was shunned from the family at a very early age. He lives in Erie, Pennsylvania.
A landscaper.
He's a landscaper. He's an eco-friendly landscaper in Erie, Pennsylvania. He was thrown out of Massapequa by his 4 handsome brothers.
For refusing to act.
He's not
ugly.
I don't want to say he's ugly. I don't want to get into that. I mean, Alec Baldwin, that's a handsome. It was just, I saw the photograph of the 5 of them, and he was kind of off to the side. They even didn't want him to sort of be with the other 4. So he said, I'm going to go be an eco-friendly landscaper in Erie, and then in about 35 years, I'm going to write into Marilyn Vos Savant because something crazy happened to me, and I want to find out if I'm okay. I recently was awakened by a blinding flash of light and heard what sounded like a bomb detonating in my head. But in just a few seconds, I felt completely normal except for being terrified. The next day, my doctor told me to just forget about it. Is this a known phenomenon? Yes, says certified genius Marilyn Vossavant. First described in 1876 as a sleep disorder, it was called, quote, exploding head syndrome in a 1988 Lancet article. Up to 15% of people have experienced a similar event. Fortunately, it's painless and has no health implications or repercussions. The cause is completely unknown. Researchers suspect that misfirings in the brain circuitry involved in entering and exiting the sleep state. So I looked it up, and people described it as a sort of atomic light and sound explosion inside the brain, sort of in the state of attempting to fall asleep. That sounds scary.
Attempting to fall asleep,
In this,
or in the one or the other.
laying down and I'm about to drift off. I
have that.
I've never had that. Have I had that?
Like sort of one of those like.
No, what I
Not
read
like-
it was it sounds as if inside your own brain you've heard a firecracker.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's like it feels like some
No.
type of there's like an electrical explosion in your head or something.
No. That's an
It's
immediate trip to
I mean, it
Cedars.
was scary, but then like that's it.
You just are like, fuck it. Yeah,
No,
like,
I'm just saying. There's just
I gotta go. I'm
There's
back to
no.
bed.
There's no.
Oh no.
There's no residual
I'd
effect.
be
It's
up
just
like doing rolling my fucking foot on a lacrosse ball and start doing some yarn work on the fingers, make sure everything. That's too scary. Just go to bed, I guess. What was that fucking enormous explosion inside my brain?
nothing. Go to
Probably
sleep.
nothing. Sleep tight, honey.
Hope you don't have another.
Don't
though.
let the bombs detonate. Good night. Too much, dog. Too much.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what it is. I don't know how to describe it. It's
I
sort of-
think you can describe it as if a bomb is exploding inside of your brain. Fuck
of.
no. No, thank you.
It's only been in the last decade that research into plastics pollution has gained urgency in the Great Lakes, the planet's largest system of fresh water. Homes, Huron,
I put down a little, what would that be called? What do they call those?
Glossary?
No, that's a little way. We were just talking about, I guess, with our friend Apollo.
Oh.
What's the easiest way to remember?
What are those
I don't-
called? An amalgorithm, an anagram.
I don't fucking know. How do I remember the Great Lakes? Could you give me some sort of wordplay?
Superman helps homes or everyone.
What is it? Superman. Maybe can you?
Superman helps. Come here. You
Okay.
you're fucking me up here.
I'm sorry. Superman helps everyone. Yeah, that's it. Either you can do it Homes, Homes, or you can do it Superman helps everyone. Superman S superior. What is it?
No, superior.
Okay.
Erie.
Superman helps H Huron, everyone E Erie, 1 Ontario.
That sucks.
You don't like that one? I thought that the kids would like that one because it's got Superman in it.
The kids.
So Superman would be Superior in Michigan?
Superman is superior and
Superman is the S and the M. So the Superior in Michigan helps H Huron, every Erie, 1 Ontario.
yes.
Superman helps everyone.
I mean, that seems harder.
How about Seth Man helps everyone? Oh, okay. Yeah, Superior.
And then Homes, Homes, that's Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior.
888-842-2357. I believe they call it the mitten and such. If you're from the state of Michigan, please tell us, or I guess any of those states, how did you learn that?
That's an
as a child?
anagram, isn't it?
Is that an anagram? I'll buy that. Seth Man helps everyone.
Now, the planet's largest system of fresh water, plastic debris
I'm listening.
makes up about 80% of the litter on the Great Lakes shorelines. Nearly 22 million pounds enter the Great Lakes each year, more than half of which pours into Lake Michigan. According to estimates calculated by the Rochester Institute of Technology, regardless of size, as plastics linger in the water, they continue to break down from exposure to sunlight and abrasive waves.
That doesn't sound good. How
Well-
many pounds did you say?
22 million each year.
Every year? Sounds like well, Jonathan, that can't be correct.
I think it's correct.
Well, Jonathan, it can't be because you just said 22 million pounds of plastic. That doesn't even exist in all of the globe. How could it just go to the one precious body of water for right here? It's just not possible. Oh, it is? Okay. All right. No problem. Don't worry about it. How many fucking Faygo bottles can you motherfuckers throw into the water? Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. Magnets. Ugh. Okay. It is so tough.
It's everywhere.
Oh, it's everywhere.
That plastic.
It's in you.
It's in you.
It's part of you.
It's us. It's a plastic planet.
Plastic man.
We've covered the planet in plastic.
Thank goodness. Protective shield.
That's hopefully what we'll figure out how way to do.
Oh my God, it worked.
Once we figure it out, I mean, it may be too late for most of us, but it'll hopefully be the thing that maybe we, push out into the ionosphere in order to fill the holes in the ozone that we've built.
We fixed
We
it.
made another one.
We did it.
It's a plastic zone.
Wow, we were wrong all along, but then we were right all along.
Who knew?
Who knew? In that life, though?
Yes.
It's a dichotomy. God, we've been so wrong. Or have you? Have you been extra so right?
We needed to be wrong in order to get
We
right.
needed to get so wrong for it to be so right. Seth Man helps everyone. I got one for you.
Yeah.
For the first time, scientists have identified the genetic differences associated with left-handedness, a trait found in 10% of the human population.
The coolest humans.
Not a lot of that's very low, 10%. The researchers' study published in the journal Brain claims that those genetic variations result in differences in brain structure, which might mean that left-handed people have better verbal skills than the right-handed majority. Motherfucking UhhYeahDude case in point. All the great podcasters are lefties. You know that. You know that.
That we might have better verbal skills?
Yeah. If you looked at the top 100 podcasts on iTunes, 80% or 90% of the podcasters in the top 100 on iTunes are left-handers. I think. I read it in the journal.
That's not true.
Something, the iTunes journal.
The iTunes journal science.
Fuck. But your verbal skills are fucking unparalleled.
Now,
'cause of
would
your
you consider
left-handedness.
yourself? You mentioned in the last episode that you throw right-handed, you bat left-handed.
Well, that was to get me to the bigs, to get to the show.
So that was a forced skill.
That was forced upon me by my father to make it to Fenway.
So that wasn't. You wouldn't consider yourself ambidextrous. It wasn't your instinct to bat left-handed.
I'll have to call Joe. All I know is on the come up when he was like, "Here we go to get you to Fenway." You throw right. Most people bat right, but who's the greatest hitter of all time? Who's the last hitter to hit 406?
The Yaz.
Correct. The Yaz. Do you know that Yaz's grandson doesn't play for the Red Sox, but played in Fenway just the other day and hit a home run in Fenway with Yaz in the stands? You like that?
That's nice.
That's real nice. That's the Splendid Splinter.
Who was the last?
Ted Williams.
Teddy Williams was a right-handed thrower, left-handed hitter.
I don't even know if he was. Yeah, he must
Or
have
was
been.
he just left-handed?
That's a good question. I don't even know if he threw. I'll have to look that up. But he batted lefty. I mean, Wade Boggs. I mean, come on. Dog, I want to make it to the show. So we had to fucking adapt on South Kimball. We had to adapt. Didn't make the show. Well, I've been to Fenway.
Different calling.
Good time.
I've been
Different
there.
calling.
I've been there too.
He had me hold the microphone with my left hand when I would want to hold it with my right hand because the comedy, left brain, right brain.
Yep.
Yeah, I think is what happened. So,
I wonder. I wonder about
Your superior verbal skills?
Well, I just wonder. I'm sure there's differences, obviously, in the wiring. The guy I was speaking to the other day, who's studying to be he's studying cardiology, and he's working as an assistant to a cardiologist at the moment, but also in medical school, I think. But he was saying that left-handed people don't feel heart attacks the same way that right-handed people do. And I was trying to read up on that. Something about the way the brain is wired, that the pain of going into heart failure doesn't, it phase cancels in the brain, and it doesn't send the same.
He was telling you this?
Yeah, and then I looked it up.
Where did you, this guy outside of Starbucks?
Well, he also worked at the Mercedes dealership.
Literally thought maybe you were at dinner with your father. And
no, he's a valet.
Cardiologist friend.
No,
he's the valet at the mechanic
Mercedes.
That's at the Mercedes dealership. Okay, so anyway, thank you.
But he's also studying to be a cardiologist.
Ted Williams.
Freelance cardiologist.
Bat left through right. This is from Reuters.
The UhhYeahDude? Or oh no.
Stop saying the yes. This is from Reuters Health in October 2017. You talking about Brian Bosworth, the Boss? Yeah, he's a great ball player. For baseball players, throwing right-handed and batting left-handed may be the best combination for success in the major leagues.
Joe
according
knows.
to a new analysis of player data from 1871 through 2016. Joe Rome had me on the right track back in the 70s.
That's on you, dude.
That's on me, Dad. I'm sorry, Papa.
You fucking blew that.
Wow, published in
You could have at least gone. You could have at least done Olympic. You could have at least been in the Olympics.
I would have at least been in the Pan American Games. The findings published in a letter to the New England Journal of Medicine showed that such players, among them Boston Red Sox legend Ted Williams, were far more likely to be 300 hitters and were also more likely to end up in the fucking Hall of Fame. Me and my dad could be in Cooperstown right now. Dad, I fucking love you. It was you. You did it. I hated it. I used to hate you. I used to fucking hate you, man. But now I fucking love you. Hey, with the cussing here at your induction ceremony. Dad, I used to fucking hate you. I wanted to bat right you so bad, but you made me bat lefty, and now I'm in the fucking Hall of Fame, and I got a fucking sponsorship with Folgers Coffee, and I'm fucking rich, and I love my wife and my kids, and I love you, Dad. Instead,
Tough.
It's very tough. It's very tough.
Yeah.
I mean, up until the point where everybody grew, I was the best. Best athlete on the playground.
You mentioned that.
Best athlete on the playground.
I think you also mentioned it's convenient that you mentioned that because it's also during a time where there was no documentation of anything.
Hey, I'll get people on the phone right now. I'm gonna call Steve DeWine right now. I'll fucking call him right now. What time is it in fucking... Nah, it's too late. I don't want to wake him up. He's got many kids. Late. I will fucking verify that shit. Mm-hmm. The best. The fastest. The sharpest. Because, it's just not about...
It's a brain game.
It's a brain... Everything's a brain game. His IQ, his fucking knowledge, field knowledge, or... It's unparalleled.
Have you ever taken an IQ test? A real IQ test?
Tried to take one when I was 10, and I got so many... They had to stop the test because I answered so many questions correctly that they were that the proctors were getting nervous.
So they could shut you down.
They shut me down.
Right, Mies?
Sound asleep.
Starbucks Reserve Roastery. There's Starbucks Reserves, but this is a Starbucks Reserve with a roast.
Oh, this is
with a roastery.
You've been to the one in Seattle, right?
I haven't. Have
Dog.
I? No, I haven't. So there are a few.
That was the first one.
The first one was in Seattle. There's one in New York. There's one in Tokyo, Shanghai, Milan.
Okay, so the greats.
And on November 15th, one on the Magnificent Mile in Chicago, the world's largest. The world's largest roastery reserve will be opening on November 15th. It's 43,000 square feet, which is
just right.
So fucking
about 3,000 feet too small, if you ask me.
4 stories.
Oh
200 Starbucks employees.
Oh,
They say it's a theatrical, experiential
wow.
shrine to coffee passion.
Yes, please. I just walk in there. Can I get a tall drip? Duh. And walk out and be like, well, that wasn't any good. You kind of fucked the whole process. You must want to pour over or something.
I mean, I just want the sugary ones.
I want the brewed drip. I
want a unicorn fucking
Yeah, you
crap.
want to get fucking wild. You want the Parabellum experience.
They just put I just saw that they finally put a limit on the amount of pumps that you can add, like you can on the app. Like when you're ordering on the app, there was no limit.
Unlimited
So people
pump.
would come in and say like
6 pumps.
68 pumps.
Oh.
The woman at the shop, I asked her, she said
what's you've ever had?
She said, I think she said 62 pumps. And I was like,
69.
that's,
I mean, what
and I was like,
we did it. Fucking Rob Gronkowski over here.
but now they limited it to like 12 pumps or something like that.
Okay, I don't even know what that means, but
Well, it's like pumps of like the sugar syrup.
wouldn't one be more than enough?
Well, it depends on what size, but no.
Okay, let's say 1 for a small, 2 for a large.
How about 6 for a
Small,
grande?
14 for a grande venti. Okay.
But now there's a limit because I guess people would just go ham.
Yeah, I don't really think in any capacity you can let people decide what they think is fair for.
Well,
something.
especially because there'll be people like the jokesters that'll just do it for the sake of like, whoa, like.
Yeah.
But then there's actually people who just are like psychotic and insane and disgusting.
Yeah.
And will just like get it the way that they would like it, and the way they would like it is not
the
okay.
right way.
It's not okay.
Not okay.
No, you can't let. That's the thing in this day.
In age.
We love the number one thing we want is to be able to customize our things,
to an extreme
and yet
level.
you have to be able to put some boundaries on that customization because left completely free and open, they will dismantle the universe.
Oh, yeah. Fractal dismantle. I like 14 pumps, but I also like a bag of ground coffee
inside of it.
inside. I'll just take that with me. Okay. Well, there's no limit on the app, so
Yeah, you can't let them have.
you can't let them have what they want.
Not entirely.
Oh, it's too much. It's
not
too much.
entirely.
Imperial Young is a 35-year-old woman. Imperial's the woman that was so upset about the OA being canceled that she has been standing on Sunset outside the Netflix building for.
Not the only one, but she's the only one now.
Well,
There were others.
There were others.
But not anymore.
Let me see what.
What's her name?
Imperial.
I think that's a chosen name.
Oh, I would say definitely. Anakin Young. It is an absurd overreaction to protest with a hunger strike over the cancellation of a television show, said Imperial Young, and I acknowledge that, but it's because my protest for the OA is really a culmination of multiple factors. It's helped people process their trauma, the show. You'll have to help me with what that means. Yes. It's helped people feel like they're not invisible. This is Young explaining why so many care about the show so much. Her hunger strike, it led to a very strange truth about our society. Sometimes a TV show is the absolute best thing that you have. That I'll stand behind.
Yeah.
Television, in this show specifically, was one of the few things that I and others have as a coping mechanism when the broader world felt crazy and bleak. Stand by that. I don't know where my future is going, Imperial said, so, I decided to make a sign and try to do something to see if a human could move a corporation, which is probably impossible. She's ended her hunger strike after 13 days.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Broken up in 2 stretches with a 1-day break. Okay. All right. Wait a second. Oh, cut the fuck. All right. Hold on.
So 2 6-day fasts.
Jonathan, she intermittent fasted. She basically did the lemonade fast twice. Broke it up with pancakes at the Denny's across the street and was like, I was on a 13-day hunger fucking strike. First of all, you weren't. I've been sober for a long time. You know that. I broke it up in 2011. I broke it up.
Just to break up.
I broke it up.
Just the monotony.
Just to break it up. With peach schnapps every day for 3 months. But then I got right back on. So it's been since April 20th, 2022. So yeah, so that's how we define words and concepts now, which is fine. She's still standing outside Netflix every day with her sign, even though the fast has been broken. And then she said, "What do I have to lose?" Well, Imperial. Jonathan, tell me about this processing of trauma that this fucking television show does. I would like to indulge in that. Can I do that?
Yeah, it's
Am
on
I
Netflix.
capable
There's 2
to
seasons
indulge in
on the
ready for me right now.
Yeah.
So I could right now say to you, I'm done with this podcast. Put my microphone down, ask you to leave my home and indulge in processing my trauma through 2 seasons.
I wonder how much of that show you could get through. I mean, it's so hard because you hate it already. So
let me tell you something about me. Okay?
Okay. Dude, go.
Yeah, I talk a lot of shit. I like to have a little fun, josh around. If I sat down, I would let that wash over me, and I would, whether I liked it or not, and it's just my opinion, it don't mean anything. My already hating it probably would play less into.
No, I don't think if it was.
I hit that shit with a clean slate when that thing starts.
No question. My issue, my thing about it more is that there are concepts and premises within the show itself that I know from experience.
I know you know
that are a hard sell for you.
Okay, but
I wouldn't even say hard sell. I think they might be deal breakers.
Okay.
And I think the idea is that anything that deals with a leap in scientific logic, you pretty much tap out.
I'm such a child. Like, take everything so literally.
And so,
like, no imagination.
It's not so much that. I think it's that you respond to a style of entertainment that you believe should be rooted in relatable or historical events, not in abstract concepts of the human psyche or the human imagination. So if a thing doesn't exist now, and to our knowledge hasn't existed before, you're not really up for it. Whether that be imaginary lands, ages, galaxies, or technology that has yet to be invented or whatever. And I think there's a pretty hard line across the board. I don't know of anything in my time knowing you where you were like, what, even you saw Arrival, right?
Oh, I fucking hated Arrival.
Oh, you hated
that
it.
Fucking Amy Adams one?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't stand that.
Well, there you go. Because that's like a movie that I thought maybe you could.
Talking to that blob and they were like chopping it up like a podcast. I was like, this is so fucking absurd. Your podcast sucks.
Okay, well then here we go. I don't think
processing trauma.
There is
because I would want to process some trauma. Is this show going to help me do that?
Well, the characters in it endure something pretty
traumatic,
pretty brutal, and traumatic.
It?
They do, yeah.
Did she process it in her real life when she went on a hunger strike? What if she was to pass away from that hunger strike? Would Netflix feel guilty? Would they be forced to bring the show back for a 3rd season if she died on Sunset of starvation?
It might not. You might want to get it right before that, but it might be a little late if she died.
But would her death have brought that show back for season 3?
No.
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 So you're saying that her hunger strike is in vain.
But what about the idea that this whole thing, her and everything, is all part of the show?
That she works for Netflix. She's Netflix's daughter. She's Jenny Netflix. That I like. That's an OA concept. Because from what I read, is that people said, hey, it's not canceled. It's canceled in there, but not in your mind. In 4D chess fragmentation, we're on season 6. Is everything okay? But people do what they do.
I liked it.
Passionate.
I liked it.
You liked it. You wouldn't die for it. You certainly wanted to come back for season 3. You wouldn't die for it.
I don't think I'd die for it.
Would you not eat for 2 days to bring it back?
Yes.
You'd go 48 hours. You could go 40. If I said right now, what's it? Ted Sarandos? What's his name? The head of Netflix. What's his name? He's here. Is that Hastings? Is he the owner?
I don't know.
The CEO?
I don't know.
They're here. They're friends of mine. We chop it up. They used to come into the weed store. I've been friends with them. I never told you. He says if you can sit in my apartment and fast for 48 hours, you're on as a love interest for Britt in season 3 of OA.
No, it's too much.
Okay.
Yeah. Bring it back.
Okay.
I would do it.
You could do 48 hours. Could you do 70?
Or a love interest for Britt in real life. One or the other.
Okay, you're in real life, you're a love interest, but you have to go 72 hours without eating or drinking.
No,
Could you do it?
I would, for the sake of my enjoyment of the show and for the amount of joy I think it would bring other people,
Well, it would bring Imperial immense joy.
I would absolutely do 48 hours of no eating.
If we told Imperial that it only took 48 hours to bring it back and you said no, she'd kill you and then you'd be dead. So what's up now?
Yeah, I would do that.
Broke up the hunger strike. I don't think
Can I break mine up? The 48 hours?
I don't think Bobby Sands broke his. I don't think you.
I think Gandhi.
I don't think you break the hunger strike. But hey, you can pretty much say or do anything now, and it's just.
Well, the other thing is, she maybe never even said it. It made him. I think she did though.
Of course she did.
She said, wrote it on the sign every day.
Every day. I haven't eaten 6 days, but I just went over and
had Denny's.
a full stack at Denny's.
Minus Denny's, I haven't eaten.
Minus Denny's, I'm good. So fuck off. Bring it back. Processing trauma.
They say love is blind, Seth.
I'm listening.
But if you're a queen honeybee, it could actually mean true loss of sight.
Ted Sarandos is currently the chief content officer for Netflix. I think I was getting that right. Yeah. It's hard to try to think in your mind his name's Sarandos because you're obviously going to go Sarandon because you're going to do that because it's in your head. It's Ted Sarandos. So I'll talk to Ted. He used to come into the weed store and we used to chop it up in my season 8 fantasy of my life. And I'm going to get this for you.
Say, hey, listen.
Hey, I want a show. Obviously, I'd want Jonathan. I'd have our own show. I'll forego that to bring back the OA for season 3. What if I found out they brought it back and then in secret recordings I heard them being like, we're going to give you guys a show. And then you were like, you know what? I'd rather you gave season 3 to OA, and then I'd be dead on Sunset. And so it's a beautiful.
New research finds that male honeybees...
Reed Hastings...
Who's that?
Is the entrepreneur, and he's the co-founder of Netflix. Founder.
He's the money.
Co-founder.
He's the money behind it.
So who did I chop it up with at the weed store, Reed or Ted? Ted, chief content officer.
New research finds that male honeybees inject toxins during sex that cause temporary blindness. All sexual activity occurs during a brief early period in a honeybee's life, during which males die and queens can live for many years without ever mating again. UC Riverside's Boris Baer, a professor of entomology, said males develop vision-impairing toxins to maximize the one fleeting opportunity they may ever get to father offspring. Quote, the male bees want to ensure their genes are among those that get passed on by discouraging the queen from mating with additional males. Senior author of the study, Baer, discovered these blinding findings published in the journal eLife. Quote, she can't fly if she can't see properly. The toxins identified by the team are proteins contained in male bees' seminal fluid.
Oh boy.
Which is a substance that helps maintain sperm. Earlier work by Bayer's team also discovered honeybees' seminal fluid toxins that kill the sperm of rivals. All honeybees make these proteins, though some make more of it than others. Bayer first became interested in bees' seminal fluid years ago.
Oh, yeah. Fucking totally. You know, the 80s.
Who didn't?
Who didn't? Coked up. What are you into?
First became interested in bee seminal fluid years ago as a doctoral student. During early projects, he noticed that if bumblebee queens were injected only with fluid and not the sperm during insemination, the queens stopped mating and became increasingly aggressive towards males. He wanted to understand why. Studying the seminal fluid proteins required an interdisciplinary team of entomologists, biologists, biochemists,
Got to bring in the fucking, it's like ghost hunters. You got to bring in the fucking best team.
and more to identify them and examine their effects on the queens. The team included Bayer's wife and co-author.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're
Get
talking.
my wife in on it. We watched the fuck. Me and my wife are into seminal fluid of bees. Family affair. Get your kids in it. Get everybody.
Bayer's wife and co-author Barbara Bayer Imhoff, a UC Riverside pollination specialist.
Wow.
As part of this project, Bayer Imhoff conducted experiments in which she installed tiny tags on queen bees' backs, read by scanners at the hive entrances. Quotes, the tags were similar to those at self-checkout counter in grocery stores, Bayer Imhoff said. The experiment showed queens had difficulties finding their way back to the colonies if they had been inseminated.
That's some shit, man. There's a lot going on there.
With the bees or the people?
Everybody.
Everyone.
A wild world, man. You're getting crazy up in that bee world. I thought at first you said they went blind.
From studying?
Oh no, the bees that they're
From
making
fucking. Coming. The dudes.
they're gonna die.
Like,
Yeah. I mean,
and
they
then-
die anyway. Like it'd be a bummer if you're gonna die and like, oh, for the last, do they die right away?
I don't
Or you
know.
live a month, you're gonna be blind for your last month too. What?
Because you fucked.
Yeah, you fucked. You're gonna die and now you're gonna be blind. So the
Well,
last part of it, you'll just be like, oh, this fucking sucks.
So you'll want to die.
So you want to die earlier, and that's nature. Bye. God,
That's what we call God's
Yeah.
universe.
it's good night. Say your prayers, bee, because you're a blind dead man, dead bee. So that's blind, and then the husband and wife, and they're into it. That's
Super into it.
their get down.
They get their friends into it.
They get all their friends into it. A sort of like key party type situation of scientists. Bee party, excuse me, right there. Wow, it's like an ice storm. Shit gets crazy, man.
Yeah.
70s, different time.
Um,
Wow.
fascinating stuff.
Good stuff. It's nature. Gotta fucking study it. Bees are very important, right? But isn't it like without the bees we don't live? So they should. be
No,
focusing on that
absolutely.
shit.
You watch the Netflix one, The Mind? Those
I haven't watched those.
they're fucking good.
I haven't watched.
I haven't
them.
gotten all of them yet. My
No.
fucking Netflix keeps freezing on me.
Samantha's like, you
I get
gotta
like
watch-
30
she's like,
minutes
There's one
before.
about anxiety, and she's like, but then Maria Bamford's on it, and you're just gonna be like, oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
but yes, true. It's true. But it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
And there's one about, I believe, psychedelics.
There's one about psychedelics, one about meditation, one
Mindfulness?
about mindful meditation,
Yeah.
memory. There's it's trippy. Some very good stuff, and also well made, and they're short,
20 minutes, right?
which is kind of dope because it packs a lot into each one, and there's some good like multimedia mix.
I mean, hey man,
you know.
Netflix is doing a lot of good things, man. I'm just saying.
OA3.
Read 888-42-235.
UID OA3.
Literally could be on Netflix. Not tell anybody, and maybe a listener in a month would stumble on it and be like, "You guys have a Netflix show?" That's how low fucking fi they could do it. We could be like, we just come over to your studio where you shot that fucking shitty Joel McHale fucking reboot that you didn't bring back because it sucked. And we'll come in and chop it up. Don't tell anybody about it. Don't worry about it. Shh, keep it under wraps.
Don't even spend any money on it.
You know, I only
Just-
go there for specific shit. And so I'm not searching or seeing what's new but when they have that fucking thing rolling and I'm like, oh, well, I just saw 37 things I've never fucking heard of. It's just like, wow, what's the amount of titles that they have, like original it's probably stunning, the number, I
mean,
would think.
they spent a lot of money
They
on
spent
it.
a lot of money on that, huh?
Yeah, on making that stuff.
Ted.
Holler at your
Ted.
boys.
Ted, holler at your old boy from the fucking weed store that never happened. Do you think Ted's going to be mad when we meet him and then someone at work
It's
is
like, they were like making
one
fun of
guy's
you.
been- well, they were making fun of him. They were fucking making sure he got his name right and giving him as much respect because he's fucking handsome as
True.
fuck. Handsome as fuck. Probably better looking in real life, Ted.
I'd love to know.
I'd love to know. Do anything. Anything. The Pyrotechnics Guild International was founded in 1969. It's an independent, worldwide, nonprofit organization of amateur and professional fireworks enthusiasts. Amateur and professional. Hillbilly and professional. Amateur fucking pyrotechnic enthusiasts?
Yeah.
That's you, right?
Get somebody missing some digits,
Yeah.
I bet. It's like, hey.
Its educational and scientific purposes are to, one, promote the safe and responsible display and use of pyrotechnics and fireworks.
100%.
Number one credo.
Number
for
one
50
rule.
years. Two, encourage the display of public and private fireworks in conjunction with local and national holidays, as well as patriotic and other events.
Okay.
What event wouldn't get spruced up with little fucking fireworks? And to that fucking Rolling Stones concert, they lit off some shitty fireworks, and the fucking was the highlight of the night.
Yeah.
Ah!
I would love it if it only happened at sanctioned events and not in neighborhoods because it's terrible for the animals.
Oh, so bad for the
So bad for the
in
animals.
my own gentle heart. When I'm just probably at home watching Netflix, because that's all I do is Netflix and chill. Me, myself, and I. Is that on Netflix?
I don't think so.
It's your dad's show on Netflix. Hey, don't want to keep talking shit, but hey, Bobby Moynihan, you are a bad actor and you're unlikable, and you're on a new show with Ted Danson, and that won't work because no one wants to watch you. I'm sorry I had to say it. I said it. I said it. Hey man, it's raw and unadulterated over here. I don't give a fuck. Bobby Moynihan, you ain't watchable. Said it. I had to. It's been eating me up. 3, promote the production and sale of high-quality fireworks.
High-powered, high-velocity fireworks.
Wow, that's a high-quality. I don't want to fuck around. A high-quality firework is very scary. A low-quality firework is not something to fuck with.
Way scarier.
That's just gun. That's old gunpowder in your
It's
grandpa's
dangerous.
garage, right?
Dangerous stuff.
4, channel the creative energies of talented people into the design, production, and display of high-quality fireworks by example of the membership and through the sharing of knowledge. Sounds like a fucking
I want to
group.
be in this
I
group.
want to be part of this crew. Every August, they hold their annual convention. This past month, it took place in Gillette, Wyoming. You're talking about fireworks enthusiasts from all over the world, amateur and professional.
Alike.
Oh, that's
Arm in
really
arm.
great. Taking the tickets, like 3 fingers to every hand, taking the ticket. Get $1 off your ticket for each fucking finger you're missing. We're not making any money tonight, Jim. Yeah, you think? Just people coming in with fucking like oven mitts on both hands. Officials say a firework rocket that was launched during a show for the Pyrotechnic Guild International Convention landed
Ooh boy.
in a Wyoming home and sparked a fire. The Gillette News Record reports that the rocket broke through the roof of the Gillette home about 2 miles
Holy fuck.
from the event center where the fireworks display was taking place. A pyrotechnics spokesman said the firework took an errant trajectory.
That's a very powerful firework. That's a rocket.
2 miles away,
2 miles away and it got through the roof? That's a rocket.
lit that house
It's
on
a
fire,
missile.
dog.
He made a missile.
They also said that they would pay for any damages that the fire caused.
Yeah, no
Least
shit.
you could do. Least you could do. Next year's convention in August 2020 will be in Fargo, North Dakota. So just, I would think you got to do a Google map, drop a pin on that fucking thing, and then do a 2.5 mile to be safe radius, and just stand outside of the fucking fire hose that whole gosh darn night. Whole family just waiting. You never know. What are you doing? I'm waiting for a fucking rocket from 4 miles away to hit my house. That's a cool group, though.
I bet you.
I was standing on the Mississippi River in Nolens,
Yes?
4th of July, looking up at them fireworks. It was one of the most magical American evenings of my life.
The best 4th of July I ever spent growing up was in New Orleans.
Look at that. Look at us sharing memories. Years apart, but
With
sharing
my,
memories.
I think he was my cousin. He was a fire
Tell
marshal.
me a better 4th of July then a Cafe Du Monde. What's it? What kind of coffee? I can never get it right. Chicory or hickory? I can never.
Chicory.
Chicory. Coffee. And then,
Walking down the river.
what are those things called?
The bayou?
No, what are those little powdered bullshits they serve?
Beignets?
You know what I'm talking about. And then standing
Did
on
you
the
have a beignet?
I took a bite of a beignet, and I'm still getting powdered sugar off my fucking chest and shirt. Could you put a little more on, please?
It's the whole point. So good.
Unfucking believable.
Did
Walking around like fucking dust everywhere. Dusted. Still my eyelashes. Fucking 3 months later.
So good.
Really though?
Yeah. Hot like that?
Oh, that hot coffee? How hot was it on 4th of July in New Orleans? Sitting there with the cup of coffee and just like, wow, it's hot. Yeah, it's hotter now, dummy. Oh, but standing on the Mississippi River like a, boy. Boy. Beignet, boy. Watching them fireworks. Yo, boy. Yo, when the boy, yeah, jump on, yeah, what? What the fuck did you say to me? I said to you, boy, yo, boy, yo, boy, yo, boy, yo, boy. All right, okay, whatever. Yo, buy you under, boy. You don't want to know about that, don't? What the fuck? You heard me. Yeah, I did. I fucking understand you, though. Right off the gate. Right off the rip in the airport. Excuse me, hello, I'm Seth Romatelli of the comedy podcast. Yeah, dude, you know, yes, the longest running podcast. Looking to get to the Hotel Montalban. Well, I don't, but you don't get on with it. Okay, never mind, thank you. You're not an actor. This is a real, oh, you talk like that. Okay, you weren't placed here as some sort of a, like, hee-haw type joke to get the old urban boy? Get them city folk? Oh, no, you talk like that. Well, let me explain something to you. I don't understand what you're saying. You don't gonna get right on there. Don't get no time on, you know, boy. Okay, this is not helping. But yeah, those fireworks. Whoo,
it's legit.
that's fucking.
They don't fuck around down there.
That's legit.
They know how to celebrate. We gotta be done, right?
You know what,
must
Jonathan?
be time.
I feel like we just begun. When do we do our 24-hour fucking podcast?
We gotta do it. Maybe we do it as a.
Maybe that's probably our Netflix kickoff.
Could we do what's it called? What's it called when KCT does them and stuff?
Telethon?
Telethon. We got to do it as a UID Patreon telethon.
Patreon telethon. Got to have a lot of guests, a lot of jugglers, and
yeah, like a variety show.
a variety show. I mean, ventriloquists.
But we're there the whole time,
we got to be there the whole time.
and Jeff's there the whole time,
Jeff
answering phones.
Yeah. Well, hello. What? Hello.
Signing people up.
Oh yeah, dude. America through the eyes of two Americans. What episode was this? 700 and...
You think this show
You think the comedy podcast, Oh Yeah Dude, you talking about?
Do you think
It's fantastic? Yeah.
do you think
It's super duper funny? Yeah. What?
I have this thing
Theory?
now where I feel like my sense of time.
So weird you're saying this. Go on.
What?
Keep talking.
Is very acute at this point of my life, and I was trying to figure out why, and then it dawned on me that maybe the show and its repetition of trying to stay within a hour-ish format has given me some internal reference point that I can it happens in a lot of ways, but I know exactly what time it is all the time.
I like this. OA season 3. Don't mind if I do.
I like wake up and know what time it is.
You know exactly what time.
But I don't keep a schedule like you do, and I don't set alarms.
No, this.
But like I can fall asleep and wake up, and I'll know exactly what time it is when I've woken.
7:48. You look over at 7:48. I'm telling you, that's your own shit. You're on some shit, man.
But then also my perception of the passage of time, I think, is better.
Strong grasp. You know exactly each week.
Like I can tell like how long has it been since this happened, and I'll be like, that was 15 minutes ago, and it will have been 15 minutes ago. Does that make sense? Or that was an hour and a half ago, and it'll be like, that was like exactly an hour and a half ago.
That was exactly 90 minutes ago. How do you know that? Because
I do a podcast?
I do a podcast. Longest running. You know
what were you going to say? Because it probably makes more sense.
Mine's a little bit different. I was thinking more like climate and weather. I'm thinking more about like the broader scheme, because thinking about between shows of getting ready for shows, it's too hard to explain. How I process days and into weeks, but they're always in terms of like
Yes.
the next episode.
Absolutely.
So it's for me, it's sort of like
I would
getting
say
ready
that
to do shows of like.
I would say that it starts.
It's just funny to.
We skipped last week, and today I was like, it feels like it's been like I was like it. It's just so ingrained in me
Yeah,
that
maybe
having not done it last week was so blatantly
Weird.
obvious
Yeah.
in the last few days leading up to this one, because I was like, what's different? And I was like, oh, like I haven't been to Seth's in over 7 days.
It's like I'm on Sunset pulling onto the Netflix lot, and so this is different. Hey, is that Imperial Young still here? Huh? Wow. You know, it's Valentine's Day 2020.
You know what would be cool?
Bringing the show.
You
back.
know that Britt and her dude that she developed the show with, they had all 5 seasons worked out.
Oh wow.
I think it would be cool if they
John
just
Wick.
drove up in like a fucking dope like Lincoln Town car and said, Imperial, get in the car, and they just drove around Los Angeles and just told her everything that was going to go down.
I love this. It's
And
a
just be like,
reverse
can you go
misery.
home now?
It's a reverse like.
Will you stop doing this to yourself?
We feel so bad. Here's another short stack. We won't tell anyone.
Just eat that.
Eat
No,
that.
the windows are tinted.
It's all good. Yeah, we're in a limo, and we're going to explain to you. Or it could just be that Imperial goes up to the house and hops the fence and roofies them both, and we've got a misery OA situation.
Yeah.
I will tell you. Yes, write it. Let's do this.
Jason Isaacs mentioned in an article that he knows the entire story because when he started the show, they told
that's
him
it.
like, this is what's going to
We
happen.
kidnap him
So we got to kidnap Jason Isaacs.
for Imperial. Let's do it for Imperial. Imperial, you don't know us, but we have a treat for you. Open up a
But you were
can.
just saying that your general concept and path and take on time is directly in reference to this show and what we're moving towards and what we've done. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know what I said. I think what you said made more sense. I like how you know exactly what time it is, no matter what fucking.
Because I've done something for an hour over and over and over again. I can
it's
then
not
tell.
really an hour.
I
It's
know,
always
but it's
off. It's always more than an hour. So
But
you'd
that's
think that
because
you'd
we
be-
have so much to talk about.
We
But
have
I
so much
think our
fun.
internal clock knows when it's been an hour.
Okay, and then we're like, I can't stop. Once you pop. All right,
888-842-2357. Go to Patreon and pledge to
yeah,
us. Thank you to everyone who does.
Obviously.
We're commercial-free, ad-free.
Yeah,
we're our own. We're our
above and beyond.
listener
By
supported.
doing that, it allows us to
Please
live
do
through
that.
the
You
show.
also get to watch these shows in video.
You also get to-
3-camera, high def. You
We were
get
talking about how
archived
nice it
episodes.
is,
You get everything.
How much shit we get to talk, and we only get to do that because you will allow us.
'Cause we
to do
don't
that.
answer to anybody
If we
else.
Didn't, if you didn't give
Besides
us the
the man
luxury
upstairs.
opportunity to do that, we would have to like not
Yeah.
get to talk shit.
Or we'd have to be like, oh, by the way, I hate cooking at home, but when I do, like,
What if we
Blue
had to say
Apron.
things that we didn't really mean?
yeah, like
And it was true. It was too obvious.
Like I love Casper mattresses. No, I mean, in the worst case, we would have to actually endorse things that we hate. But in a best case, it would just be obnoxious and repetitious and redundant for us to have to do the same types of things that other people are forced to do in order to monetize their podcast. And we luckily have a listenership that doesn't need that or that allows us not to have to do that. And we ask if you are a listener and
That's
if you're
amazing.
new
Yeah,
or if
please
you're
do that.
an old listener that hasn't pledged yet, just think about
Think
doing
of it-
that
yeah,
because
think about how,
it
like,
makes this better.
You've allowed this thing to kind of be its own thing, and that's where it obviously incredibly and eternally grateful that we don't take that for granted. That we get to like talk shit without having to
Yeah, to
bore you with
apologize
bullshit,
to
talk about stuff that we don't.
or like
Oh.
worry about not getting paid by the company
Yeah,
we were
I'm watching like
we
The
were
Hills, and like Whitney walks into the bathroom with no dialogue and just like picks up a box of Crest white strips, nods. I'm like, God, this is so awful. Takes the white strip out. It's like the full implementation. It's like 4 minutes later, she's like tucking them up under her teeth. Stare. I'm like, this has been going on for like 5 minutes. It's a really, really weird scene.
Bet you it
Let me
pays
bend-
good.
Let me bend over the bottom. Then you drool. You got all that drool. You gotta like Oh, fuck. And then you didn't get it. It's falling off the top. You got to put that back. And then you, like I do, spend 4 minutes like this in the mirror, staring at the teeth, like watching it work.
Watching it white.
It's a weird show, man.
I mean, listen.
Oh, hey.
I'm sure it pays good.
Dog. I mean, fuck.
Come back
Was
for
American Spirits?
4
Hey,
5.
I'll start smoking.
4
them.
4
My sprouts, you
5.
heard me right
I mean,
now.
I leave things that I like out here in hopes
like
that one day
bananas?
that I don't want to do plugs, but maybe someone will just send me a case of them.
Those American Spirits? I'll smoke them right now. We're sponsored by American Spirits. I smoke now. I don't give a fuck.
Come out for 4:45. Come back for 4:45. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend about the America's First Comedy Podcast. I mean, often imitated, never duplicated. You keep hearing about all these new ones. Say there's the original.
This is the first one.
The first one, longest running, America's Sweetheart, favorite podcast. UhhYeahDude. America through the eyes of two Americans. Please come back for next episode. Seatbelts.
Seatbelts.